If you'd like to hear my top tips for starting a 3D printing business in 2025, then stick around. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I wanted to take a couple of minutes to talk about starting a 3D printing business in 2025, and I've got a number of tips for you. I'm just going to share some of my experience, but to start off with, I would say one of the most important things that you need to do is to find your niche. And what I mean by that is you may have a passion, maybe it's a hobby, and if you can identify a solution and create something that will solve that problem for other people, you're going to have a targeted market that may turn out to be very profitable. For example, when I started in the laser engraving business, I bought a rotary and it didn't have a clamp. So I designed a clamp and I've been selling this clamp and I've sold thousands and thousands of dollars for this. And that's kind of what started my business portion of the 3D printing. And I make a number of different tools. You can see these all on my Etsy shop if you're interested. So if you can find a niche, then that's going to be profitable. Over here on my left, I have a bunch of products that aren't 3D printing, but these are all made with my laser engraver or the laser cutter. So again, they're targeted to a specific audience. So that's one way to go. Now another way to go is to find popular items, and we're going to talk about some of these here. And to do that, let's go over to the computer. Now, if you want to talk about something that's popular, these dragons are really a hit. They're everywhere. So maybe that's a good place. Now, when we're talking about printing 3D models, it's very important that you actually have a license to do so. So we're going to come over here and we are going to support this full-time mom, wife, and veteran by becoming a member. So we'll select our plan and notice that you get the commercial license if you do this. So we're going to take a look here at the terms, and it says that if you have an active subscription, then you have a commercial license to legally sell the 3D prints. Not the files, but you can sell the prints. All right, so we're going to go ahead and join, and we'll go through this, and then we will have models that we can print. All right, now we've got all of our information in there and we have gone ahead and subscribed, and now I am supporting this designer. So now I have the ability to download these models and I can actually print them and sell them, whether that be, physically in person, or I can put them on a place. So let's talk about various places that you could sell these models. All right, so now that you have your products selected, now you need to figure out where you're going to sell them. So we'll look at a couple places online. First, we have Etsy. Everybody's probably familiar with Etsy. The benefit here is that most people already have their credit card information entered in Etsy, so they're very comfortable with making sales. So I'm not going to go into the ins and outs of Etsy, but like I said, it has been very profitable for me. This is just a look at my dashboard. Last year, I did almost $20,000 in sales. Now, another place that you might consider, which is not typically thought about, is Facebook Marketplace. Again, I'm not going to go into all the pros and cons on this, but look, here we have somebody selling crystal dragons about an hour away from where I live, but he's got quite a number, extra large, $75. So it's a place where you can potentially gain customers that you may not normally think about. Now, if you're more of an in-person type sales, then there's a number of places that you can consider as well. If you have a small, a convenience store, gas station, something like that, where you're comfortable with approaching the ownership and asking if you can sell in their location, probably for a profit-sharing arrangement, that is one solution. There are craft boutiques. There's like little antique stores, in smaller towns. And again, they may be open to you placing your products in their store for a cut of the commission on sales. And then finally, you have swap meets. I think swap meets or flea markets, everybody's familiar with that concept, where you probably pay, $10 or $20 or something to rent a table for a day or two, and then you bring in your product and sell them there. Now, before you start selling your product, you need to determine what price you're going to charge for it. And there's a number of things that factor into that. And so probably one of the biggest tips that I can give you is make sure that you do the due diligence to figure out a price that's going to allow you to make a reasonable profit. Now, there's a number of tools out there to do this. I've been using just an Excel spreadsheet for years, but this is one, and I'm not associated with them in any way whatsoever. But if you look at this, you can go in and you can put all sorts of parameters in the website, and it will help you calculate things. One thing that many people don't consider is the labor cost. You need to pay yourself. It doesn't do you any good to spend a lot of time designing a product, selling a product, and then finding out that the money that you're making is less than what you could be earning doing something else. So make sure that you are accurately determining your costs. This particular website will do a lot of calculations for you. It does allow you to enter the information, but in the end, it will tell you the profit per print, etc. on that. Now you know what you're going to print, you know where you're going to sell it, you know how much you're going to sell it for. It's time to do the fun part, which is printing. And let me tell you about today's sponsor for this video. Ujoy Bio sent me a couple of rolls of filament for this particular video, and they have a big sale that's going on right now. So if you head over to their website, I will have an affiliate link in the description. You can see some of these beautiful dual silk colors, which are great for these crystal dragons. And right now, if you buy 4 rolls, 4 1 kilogram rolls, you can get them as low as $15.99. Now they have all sorts of filaments that are available, and some of them they sell in 10 kilogram packages, and that reduces the price down to as little as $10.99 a roll. And I'll tell you, this is my favorite part, just getting the prints made, watching everything work. And you can see the print farm is going like crazy here, whether it's the 3D printing products. We've got all of the printers running, and now it is time to make profit. My next tip for you is to perfect your printing and source reliably. Do things like run temp towers, do test prints, make sure that you nail all of your settings and save those so that you have reliable and repeatable results that your customers can depend on. You also want to think about your sources. If you're picking filament from this company and that company, and it's very hard to know if it's going to be in stock, then when that customer comes back and says, hey, I really want that pink blue dragon again, my friend loved it, I want to get another copy, but it was a one-off and you don't know if you can get it again, well, now you're going to run into problems. Now, I can't stress highly enough how important it is if you're doing online sales to have really high quality photographs. You're going to want to get either good photos or good video. Now Etsy does both, obviously Facebook Marketplace kind of depends, or whatever, eBay, any other kind of online retailer. Your photo is your online salesman, so it's really important that you get nice, crisp photos that are going to show off all the details of your product, because that can make the determination on whether a customer chooses your shop or somebody else's shop, because they're really going to see that video, and so you want your video or your photographs to really pop and to stand out. So spend some time. You don't necessarily need crazy expensive equipment. You just need to do a little bit of learning, a little bit of training, so that you get product photos that are going to really sell your product. Now, the last couple of things I want to talk about in starting your business is those business considerations. And I'm not going to go deep into this because I'm not a tax expert and I'm not a lawyer. So I just want you to realize that starting a business is a serious investment in yourself. It can cost a little bit of money, so you need to decide if you're going to do things, kind of purely on the hobby side as a side hustle, or if you're going to go the full, legal path like I did, start an LLC that may offer you some kind of business protections. One of the things that it does, at least in my state, is when you have a business, you can apply for a resale license. So when I'm making my products, I have that resale license, so I don't pay sales tax on the filament that I buy, the parts that I buy, the raw materials that I'm going to end up reselling later. Those I don't pay sales tax on, so that is a benefit to me. Now, I do have to pay the state afterward on the products that I sell, but again, that's just something to think about. And speaking of taxes, once you start bringing in extra income, you need to be prepared to pay taxes on that. So just a rough rule, and what I've done is I set aside 30% of my profits so that when it's time to pay the tax man, I have that money set aside so that I'm ready to go for that. And the final thing that I want to bring up again, and this is the reason that I chose these particular crystal dragons and decided to support Cinderwing 3D, is it's very easy to find products out there on the internet, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you have the right, the legal right, or the moral right really, to be selling the hard work that somebody has done. So as you go out there and find products, remember, if you find it on Maker World, more than likely you're not going to be able to resell it. Look at the little copyright considerations there, kind of the fine print. So go out there and support people that are really working hard to make products and go through the right procedures so that you can legally sell these and you are supporting them in a way that helps the community to grow. So those are my little tips for starting a 3D printing business or a laser engraving or laser cutting, whatever kind of business in 2025. These are things that I've learned over about 2 years of doing this and, steadily increasing my profit level. So I appreciate the time that we've got to spend together today. As always, if you like what I'm doing here on the channel, please take a moment to hit that little like button, hit the little notification bell, and please hit that subscribe button. The channel is growing nicely. We're over 3,500 viewers or subscribers now, and I'm just tickled pink over what we're doing. As always, I appreciate the time that we get to spend here together. Let's just keep on learning, burning, printing, and growing together. Take care, everyone.